What's up everyone, my name is Konner and welcome to the Songwriter Sanctuary. Today I'm going to be walking you through one of my favorite tools for beginner songwriters, which is an online DAW called Soundtrap. If you're unfamiliar with what a DAW is, DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. These are platforms that are used for recording and producing primarily music, but really any form of audio. Soundtrap is nice because there's a free version. You can do it entirely in your browser, you don't need to download any external platforms. And it's really accessible and easy to get started. My goal with Soundtrap is just to give you the bare basics for tools that you would need to get started using it as a songwriter. So let's get into it. The first thing we want to do is go to soundtrap.com and it should land you on this page. Go ahead and click Get Started for Free, Personal Use, and go ahead and sign up. So obviously I'm not going to show you the whole process because I don't want to dox myself, but once you get through the sign up process, it should land you on a page like this. It's going to try to get you to sign up for a paid version, but if you just close out of that window, you can access the free version immediately. If you would like to download Soundtrap as a separate platform, you can do so right here, but you don't need to. Everything here can be done in the browser. So we're just going to click New Music Project. It'll take a second to load. So when you load up a new project, you should see something that looks like this. Mine is in dark mode. Yours might look a little different if it's in light mode, but the functionality will be exactly the same. So we're gonna start by building a chord progression for our song. So to do that, we're gonna click Play the Synth over here. If we click that button, it'll just pop up a little virtual keyboard here. Nice thing about this is if you click these notes, it'll just play the instrument, or you can also press these keys on your computer keyboard to do the same thing. But we don't want notes, we want chords. So we're going to click this Auto Chords feature. Now, what I recommend for beginning songwriters is to start by writing in the key of C. So that means all of these black keys, we're gonna ignore these entirely. Only press the white keys, but if you click them now, you'll hear that they play entire chords. Now, it's very easy to just record ideas and try out these chords. What you want to do first of all is make sure your metronome over here is turned on. I would also check the volume. I like to keep mine at about 75%. If it's too low, you won't be able to hear it. And when I hit record, I can just start playing automatically and it will record what I'm doing. It'll give me 2 measures of count in. So it's going to count to 4 twice and then I can start playing. Oh, too early. So as you can see, it dropped those chords into the arrangement view, and it sounded pretty good. And I didn't need to know anything about music theory to do that. I was just clicking on these white keys. So let's listen back and hear how it sounds. You can drag the playhead around up here and it'll start from wherever you put it. So I'm going to put it at the beginning. And then I can either click this play button down here or I can hit the space bar. Okay, not bad, but you could hear how the timing was a little off. So to fix that, I'm gonna double click on this, and then there will be a little blue button that pops up here that says Select All Notes. You can either click that or hit Command A if you're on a Mac or Control A if you're on a Windows computer. That'll select all the notes. And then you'll go over to Quantize under this tempo menu. If you're a beginner and you know nothing about these note values, I recommend eighth notes. Anything less, you'll likely lose some of your rhythm. Anything more, it'll probably snap it to the wrong grid and it'll sound a little bit off. I'm gonna click eighth notes and let's play that back again and hear how it sounds. That's pretty darn good. So if I want to copy this over, I can right click and copy and paste it, or I can just do Command C, Command V, which is my preferred copy and paste. And now I've got it twice in a row. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is add drums to get a little bit of rhythm with our chord progression. So to do that, we're gonna come over to the sound library, which if this isn't open for you, just click on this little note icon and it'll open it. And this sound library has a bunch of loops and effects and other things that you can add into your project that are ready-made for you to just get going right away. So I'm gonna click drums. I'm just gonna scroll down and these are all different drum loops I can try. Some of these will be only through the paid version, but I'm just gonna pick one that's free. How about Atlantis Jazz? I kinda like that. It's very simple, but I think it'll match my chords well. So I'm just gonna drag that up here. And look at that, it automatically makes it long enough to match my synth part. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's hear how that all sounds together. So by this point, one other thing you'll need to consider, when you're adding the drums, you'll probably want to turn your metronome off. The metronome can help you make sure that you're keeping a steady rhythm, but now we have the drums doing that, and we probably want to hear how things sound without the metronome. So let's listen again. That's kind of cool. So right now I'm hearing that my synth is a little too loud and my drums aren't loud enough. So I could do one of two things here. I could either turn my drums up or I could turn my synth down. I usually advocate for turning things down rather than up, because if you turn too many things too loud, it'll start to peak and distort and it won't sound good. So we're gonna just play this from the beginning again, and I'm gonna drag this volume slider around on the synth so you can hear how that changes the balance. Okay, that's probably too quiet, so we'll come back up. That's a pretty good balance. So there you go. Now we've got chords, now we've got a drum part. So let's talk about how to add vocals. So I'm going to add a track by clicking this button. I'm going to hit voice and mic. It's probably going to prompt you to give your microphone permissions. You can use whatever microphone you want. I'm going to be using the built-in microphone on my Bluetooth earbuds. You can use your computer mic. You can use a USB mic that you plug in. Any microphone is really fine. You will also want to use headphones to record vocals. And the reason why is if you don't use headphones and your song is just playing from your computer speakers while you're recording, that means that your microphone's going to pick up not just your voice, but the song playing as well. And you don't want that. You want the microphone to only pick up your voice. I would also highly recommend wired headphones that you can plug into your computer. You can use Bluetooth headphones, but it'll get a little hairy and you'll see why here in a second. But for now, I've got my Bluetooth earbuds. I've got my microphone track set up. I'm gonna click this little R button to make sure that it'll record when I hit record. Oh, and it'll probably pop up a calibration window. It's not doing that for me because I've already done this. But if it does that, go ahead and click the calibrate button and then just sing or yell or just do something loud into your mic. This just tells the system what the peak volume of your microphone will be so that the input level can be set accordingly. So once you calibrate, load up your vocal track, you're ready to go. You can hit record. It'll do the same thing where it counts you in and then you can begin singing. Oh, I'm singing a song. I'm making it up on the spot. It doesn't even have to be good. It's just gotta get the point across. And there, you can see, is my vocal part. Let's hear how that sounded. Oh, I'm singing a song. I'm making it up on the spot. So right away, you can hear the issue with using Bluetooth devices, which is that this is not in time. And the reason why is something called latency. It takes the computer a second to send information to my earbuds via Bluetooth, which means that this isn't going to be in time. So I have to go in and manually adjust this to get the timing right. And that can be a little tricky to do if you're new to this. I think this is about right. Oh, I'm singing a song. Yeah, so that's why I recommend wired headphones, is then you can avoid having to do that entirely, but now it actually sounds pretty good. I'm making it up on the spot. And if we look down here where it says loud and clear, these are different presets that you can use to mix your vocals. A lot of these are only through the paid version, but let's find one. How about pop delay? Delay is like an echo, so this makes me think if we double click this, it's gonna sound like washed out and what we call wet in the audio world, basically like you're singing in a cave. Let's hear how that sounds. Oh, I'm singing a song. I'm making it up on the spot. Not so bad. All right. This is why I love Soundtrap. Just a couple minutes of work and you already have something that's passably an original song. So let's say I finish my song and I want to get an MP3 of it so I can go show it off to my friends and family. First thing I'm going to want to do is name it just to make sure that it's saved in the system. Then I'm going to click this export button up here, or you can also go to File, Export. They do the same thing. And I'm going to click this MP3 button down here. It'll take a second to do this. Right now it's preparing, so you're probably going to have to wait a couple minutes. But once it's done, it'll automatically download the MP3 of your song, and then that's just yours to have forever, and you can go show that to whoever you want. So that's pretty much all you need to know about the basics of Soundtrap to get started as a songwriter. Obviously, there's so much more to this program. Feel free to tinker around on your own, or if you want to learn more, there's all sorts of YouTube tutorials that go into way more depth, but that's really all of the basics that you need to know to get started. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, or you just want to learn more about the craft of songwriting, please subscribe to this channel. Really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next one.